So today we will conclude what we had been discussing for the past several classes now, which is one of the most interesting and important topics, that is interviews, which every candidate who wishes to build a good career should know about this. So today we will conclude this. This is we have been focusing a lot on the kinds of questions that are asked in interviews, because that is one of the most important thing. However well you dress for the interview, however nicely you smile, however neatly you walk, but what comes out of your mouth is more important. What you say is more important. What you speak is more important. So that's why we had been focusing for the past several sessions today on the questions that are asked for the interview. And with this, we will conclude the session on interviews today. And this will be the last session on interviews. So let us look at some of the questions. We discussed many questions. You also suggested some questions that are commonly asked for interview. So here we have the textbook. I'll tell you the page number. This is 112, page number 112. You can go through this in your textbook. This is page 112. Activity 7. So there are some responses which are given here to a single question. So this is a question which we have not discussed in the previous session. So let us see what this question is, how we can answer this question, etc. So here are some responses of 3 different candidates to certain questions that were asked during an interview. Take the response that you find is the most appropriate. The first question is, how much salary do you expect? So this is a very tricky question. How much salary do you expect? So there are 3 different responses. You can read those responses and you can tell which is your favorite response. So everybody works for a salary. Everybody wants a salary. Everybody goes to work so that they get the salary. Nobody works just for enjoyment. Of course, we have to enjoy our work, but that is not the only purpose in going for a job. It's not just to while away the time. We want money to support our family. But how do we answer such questions? You can read those responses. I am not going to read that. You can read it by yourself. Okay, there are some responses in the chat box. Yes. Third response is liked by some people. Aishwarya Julsha. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, why the third response is good is very self-explanatory. I don't have to explain it, but let us look at the other answers, because that needs some explanation. Let's look at the other responses, A and B, that is first and the second one. This first response, I am a fresher and money is very important for me. I expect rupees 50,000 as my starting salary. Okay, so for this, isn't money important? Money is important. Money is important for everybody who lives on this earth, unless you are a sannyasi living in a forest. For everybody else, money is important. Money is required to live in this world. But that is not the way you answer a question in an interview. And especially when we are freshers, when we are just out of our graduate school, when we have just completed our diploma programs, we just can't demand that we need to be paid so much. And not because 50,000 is a big amount, not because of that. If you are asking for a specific amount, there is nothing wrong in mentioning the amount. As long as you are aware that of the kind of salary that is given in companies for that particular post, for our qualification, for the kind of zero experience that we have, if this is the kind of salary that they give, you can ask for it. For that, you have to do good research. You have to do a good study of what is the kind of salary that is given in organizations. So without conducting any study, you cannot just say a figure. So you can say a figure. So പലരുടെയും ഒരു സംശയമാണ്, എനിക്ക് ഇത്ര എമൗണ്ട് ഒന്ന് ചോദിക്കാമോ? ചോദിക്കാം, പക്ഷെ നമുക്കത് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം. ഇത്ര എമൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കണം. For that, you have to inquire what is the salary that they give for such a position. For example, I'll tell you, for apprentices, there is a program called apprenticeship for diploma candidates. It is a kind of training which gives you a certificate at the end of that training. It is a 1-year training. For after every diploma, you can apply for that training. In many institutions are providing such training. It will give you a certificate at the end of the 1-year training. Plus, you will get a monthly stipend. It is not a salary. Okay, it is called a stipend, and that is not equivalent to salary, and that's why it is a small amount. It is now around 8,000 to 9,000 rupees per month. In some companies, it is 8,000. Some companies, it is 9,000. Some companies are even giving 10,000 rupees per month. That is not called a salary. So if I am aware of these things, I can ask for the kind of salary. If I am so capable, there is nothing wrong in asking for 25,000 or 50,000 rupees. Nothing wrong in that. But we should not be too ambitious. Okay. Aspiration is good, ambition too much ambitious. മലയാളത്തിൽ അതിമോഹം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So too ambitious is not a good option when you are asking for the salary. So that is what happens with the first response. Okay, let us now look at the second response. I am not interested in money. He says that he is not interested in money, he is coming for experience. This is not a kind of response that they are going to buy. The interview panel is not going to buy such responses, which means that they are not going to believe you. Nobody goes just for working somewhere to get an experience. So they will not believe you. So we have to be genuine. So this is a word that I have been using in the past several sessions. We have to be true. We should not hide the fact that money is important to us. So we have to be true, but at the same time, we have not to be not too ambitious also. So that you are not interested in money is a lie. It is not a fact. It's not a truth. So it is a lie. So we should avoid such statements. And there is another statement which is also not good. It will help me when I attend other interviews, which means he's come here to attend this interview. After that, he is going for another interview like that. So this person is not interested in this company. See, he has come here for such an experience. കുറച്ച് നാളത്തെ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസിന് വേണ്ടി വന്നതാണ്. So even if you have an offer somewhere else, you are not supposed to reveal that to this company when you are going there for an interview. സോ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേണം എനിക്ക് ദുബായിക്ക് പോകാനായിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പ്ലേസ് പോലെ വന്നതാണ്. കുറച്ച് നാൾ ഇവിടെ ജോലി ചെയ്തിട്ട് പിന്നെ ദുബായിക്ക് പോകണം. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ഒരു സത്രം പോലെ വന്ന ഒരാളായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ തോന്നിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ they will not like us, that you have just come there as a stopping place. So that is not kind of response that we should give. Even if you have such a plan, you are not supposed to reveal. We are not supposed to reveal it to the interview panel. So this is also not a recommended response. The last one is surely a good response. Look at the kind of comment that the third candidate makes. It is a pretty long response. Instead of just saying, I want 25,000, I want 50,000, you are giving a very detailed reasoning. So whenever we respond, instead of giving some one-liners, this is something which is very commonly given by candidates. One-liners means ഒരു സെന്റൻസിലൊക്കെ മറുപടി പറയും. ക്ലാസ്സിലൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ ഒറ്റ വാക്കിലൊക്കെയാണ് മറുപടി പറയുക. ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിന് പലരും ഒരു സെന്റൻസിൽ മറുപടി ചെയ്യും. So instead of saying it in one sentence, if you can expand what you have in your mind in 2 or 3 sentences, the interview panel is likely to have a better impression about you. So more than 3 sentences would be too long. One sentence would be too short, and 2 is somewhere in between. So it is ideal to have 3 sentences as the response for such questions, which are very tricky. If you have any questions or comments, you can always ask me in between. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നതിനെ കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും അഭിപ്രായങ്ങളോ സംശയങ്ങളോ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇടയിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. It is not that what I am saying is the truth. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ എടുക്കണം എന്നില്ല. You can always ask me questions in between. Because this is not a topic just for your exam. എക്സാമിന് വേണ്ടി മാത്രമുള്ള ടോപ്പിക് അല്ല. This is something which we need for preparing ourselves. We may not get such a detailed section that you have.
Sir, voice break over.
It's not my first priority. So she says that I learned a lot. I want to build my career. But she also says, look at that. She says she makes sure that I'm sure that CTC is cost to the company, which is salary. So I am sure that you will be giving a salary which will be on par. What is on par? On par means equal or at the same level. Okay, that is the meaning of on par. So I am sure that you will be giving me a salary which will be almost at the same level as that is given by the other companies. So this is what she makes. So she has put a kind of clause there. She has put a kind of reminder there to the company that you have to give me something which is offered by other companies also. So there is a demand, but it is very subtle. Subtle means you can say soft. Instead of being direct. Okay. It is almost the opposite of direct. The first person was very direct. First candidate said that I want 50,000 rupees. She is asking for the same amount actually. 50,000 is the amount that is offered by other companies for a fresher in that category. But she is not asking for that. She is just saying it in a very subtle manner, indirect manner. She says that I am sure that you will give me a salary which is equivalent to what the other companies give. So now what will happen if the company wants to select this girl, they will have to pay her that amount. See, that is, so she is putting a condition, but in a very indirect way, in a very polite way. So this is a very polite way of putting across your demand in an interview. So this tricky question is now handled. I think it is very clear to you now. Let's now move on to the next question. This is a question that we discussed in the previous session also. This is the question, second question. Why should we hire you? So this question is something that we asked, we discussed in the previous session also. So this was the third question that we discussed, and the same question has come here, but we have three different responses. Let us look at those responses. These are the three different responses. Just go through those responses and tell us which one. Which is the good answer, which is the better answer among the three. Okay, a lot of responses. Yes. To look at these responses, you can see that this response is very long response. So that itself can give you an idea that this is the answer. Yes. Yes. Almost everybody has typed in. Yeah, so it is the second one. No doubt it is the second. But let us look at why that response is considered. Let's look at the other responses. I am a fresher with a first class and I am ready to do anything you tell me. See, which shows that we don't have any confidence in the kind of skill that you are developed in your diploma program or any program that you have done. So your only strength that you feel is that you have a first class and that you are a fresher. So for that reason, why will they take you? Why should they hire you? And promising to do anything that they tell you. If they ask you to sweep the room, you will sweep. But that is not what they are looking for. They don't have to conduct an interview for recruiting a person for that kind of work. So this kind of response, what does it show? It shows lack of confidence in ourselves. Lack of confidence in the kind of specialization that I am capable of. So the first response shows lack of confidence. And what does the third response show? So responsible lack of confidence ആണെങ്കിൽ third response എന്താണ്? Exactly, yes. You are commanding, you are ordering them You are being overconfident. Exactly. First response confidence ഇല്ലാത്തതാണെങ്കിൽ ഇതിൽ ഓവർ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ആണ്. You are having overconfidence. You are over smart. We think that we are the best in any field. The most important thing to become successful is humility or modesty. രണ്ടും പലർക്കും അതൊരു തെറ്റില് മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഹ്യൂമിലിറ്റി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റിയുമായിട്ടൊരു ബന്ധവുമില്ല. ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റി മനുഷ്യത്വമാണ്. ഹ്യൂമിലിറ്റി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മോഡസ്റ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്? വിനയമാണ്. ഹ്യൂമിലിറ്റി, the state of being humble. If we want to be carried to places, if we want to become successful in life, this is a quality that everybody has to develop in ourselves. This has to become naturally within us, that we should be humble. We should not be proud and arrogant. So this pride and arrogance can be is so visible in this person's language when she says that I am your best candidate. So even if we are the best, we should not claim that we are the best. They should understand that we are the best. It's nothing wrong in thinking that we are the best, but we are not supposed to say that. We should have the confidence, but it should not become overconfidence. We should be smart, but we should not become over smart. And this is a kind of command. You should hire me is a kind of command. And that is not something that the interview board wants to hear from a candidate who has come for the interview. So on what grounds do you say that we are the best candidate? We can never say that. We don't know the other candidates. This is a judgment that the interview board has to come at, not the candidate. We have to put in our capabilities. So that is what we discussed in the previous session also. This is what we should be talking about. We should be talking about the contributions that we are likely to make to the company and make them understand that how they will be of some benefit to the company, how we will make the company grow, how we will be contributing to the development of the organization. So ഇയാളെ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് എന്തൊക്കെ ഗുണമെന്ന് അവർക്ക് തോന്നണം. So why should we hire you? So the kind of answer that you give should make them feel that this person is good. And you should not directly tell them that they are the best candidate. So for that, we have to be convinced ourselves. We have to be confident, but at the same time, we should not be overconfident. So how will we convince them? We have to tell them about our capabilities. And how do we say that? This is the way we say it. She gives, you can give 2 or 3 reasons. One is too less, and 2 is also not enough. If you can give 3 reasons, for everything give 3. എല്ലാത്തിനും 3 കൊടുക്കുന്നതാണ് നല്ലത്. So that you have some idea of what you are all about. 1 is too less, 2 is moderate, 3 is the ideal. Okay, so you can give 3. So there are 3 good reasons you can. How will I remind myself for these 3 reasons? We have to study all these things. Which are the 3 reasons? So we have, since we are a fresher, that what is the advantage that we have got as freshers? As freshers, we are fresh from the educational institution. We are fresh from the academia. And from the academia, we have learned a lot of things which are fresh in our mind. We have not forgotten. So that is an advantage for a fresher. So everything, it may be a weakness as in the field of experience. We don't have an experience, but it is a strength because everything that we learned is fresh in our mind. So make every weakness a strength for ourselves. So this knowledge is there fresh in our mind, and all the skills I have developed from the academics. So that is my strength. Then she says that person is hardworking, dedicated. So the qualities, the stressing on the qualities that you have, and the focus on the company. So the first thing that the candidate says that I will use my hardworking nature and my dedication for the growth of the company. And then he mentions the career. So focusing on the company, that puts a very good impression upon the interview board. And the candidate does not say that you should hire me because I am the best candidate. That is a judgment that they will have to arrive at. So this is the good response. And you can make it better if you can give 3 good reasons. Always give 3 instead of just 1. 2 is moderate, okay, but 3 is good. So I think that is now clear. Let us now move on to the third one. Okay, why do you want to work with us? That is the third question. Why do you want to work with us? There are hundreds of companies around. Okay, there are so many companies everywhere. ഒരുപാട് കമ്പനീസ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇവിടെ വന്ന് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തത്? Okay. Okay. So now you have understood how to pick out the correct response. Very good. Okay. See, people respond in different ways. Why did you want to work? അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല സാർ, ഞാൻ അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഇതിനാണ് വിളിച്ചത്, അപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ ഞാനിവിടെ വന്ന് ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിന് പങ്കെടുക്കാമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു. അങ്ങനെ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ കമ്പനിയിലൊന്നും അങ്ങനെ ജോലി ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് വലിയതൊന്നുമില്ല, ഇവിടെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിന് വിളിച്ചപ്പോൾ വന്നു. So these kind of responses show that we are not very specific about our selection of the company. So the first response, so a lot of responses are there. Thank you for responding so much. Very nice. The first response is a very clear, shows a very clear understanding of the candidate of the company as well as what she wants to achieve for herself. So a vision, to have a vision, this is something that everybody talks about. To have a vision, or it's something similar to a dream. A dream should develop into a vision. So having a vision for ourselves as well as for the society is something that every individual should develop. So this vision is very clear in this the candidate's words when she says that I want to use my knowledge and experience for the development of this company and also the individual, for her career also. Let us look at the responses which are not acceptable. The second and third responses are not acceptable. Why are they not acceptable? Because the second response, just look at that, just analyze it. Only when we see the other responses, we understand. അതിലൊരു സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് എറർ ഉണ്ട്. എബ്രോഡ് എന്നാണ് അയാൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. എബോർഡ് അല്ല, എബ്രോഡ്. Abroad means foreign country. So why do you want to work here? അത് ഇവിടെ കുറച്ച് നാൾ ജോലി ചെയ്തിട്ട് വേണം, ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ദുബായിൽ പോകാനായിട്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ദുബായിൽ പോകാനായിട്ടൊരു ടെമ്പററി വെയിറ്റിംഗ് ഷെഡാണ് ഈ കമ്പനി. So that kind of importance, if you give only that kind of importance to the company, how will the company give you importance? So respect, it's like respect is considered to be mutual. If we want to be respected by others, we have to respect others. Without respecting others, nobody will give us respect. Just expecting that everybody will respect me, I can throw my weight around, people will respect me. No, it will not happen. People will not respect us until we respect them. Similarly, if we don't give any importance to the company is also not going to give us any importance. They are not likely to take us. So we are just considering the company like a diving board. ഈ സ്വിമ്മിംഗ് പൂളിലൊക്കെ ഒരു ഡൈവിംഗ് ബോർഡ് ഉണ്ടാവും. ഈ ഡൈവിംഗ് ബോർഡ് എന്തിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്? വെള്ളത്തിൽ ചാടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. ചാടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ആ ഡൈവിംഗ് ബോർഡ് ആർക്കും ആവശ്യമില്ല, ചാടിയവർക്ക് വേണ്ട അത്. പിന്നെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ യു ആർ ട്രൈങ് ടു യൂസ് ദ കമ്പനി ആസ് എ ഡൈവിംഗ് ബോർഡ് for your career, then the company will not be interested in taking you. They want people who will contribute to the development of the company. So he's saying that he wants an experience certificate. So that's why I have come here. I want an experience certificate. After that, I will go abroad. The third response shows that we are completely money-minded. We are motivated only by the money. So that is the problem with the third response. This company offers the highest salary in the industry. Even if it is true, we should not say that. How can we put it differently? First response, we can give a different response. We can modify the same response. Suppose it is a company, Infosys. Everybody knows that Infosys is the highest provider of salary in the IT sector. I think Infosys തന്നെയാണ് എപ്പോഴും എന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. Maybe there are other companies like Wipro, Happiest Minds, etc. But I think still Infosys is offering the highest salary. But how can I put it differently? Yeah, I can say that Infosys is such a reputed company. You don't have to mention the salary. So Infosys is such a reputed company that getting employed there is itself a great recognition. So it is my dream to get an employment in Infosys. That is why I want to work with you. So I don't need any other address if I have Infosys as my workplace. So that is why I want to work with you. Any response which actually projects the company rather than myself, projects the organization rather than ourselves, is likely to put the candidate in a better light. So that's why this third response here is not acceptable. So if I want to say something about the company, I should know about the company. That's why in the note it says we have to have a very clear knowledge about the company. So how can we know about the company? There are many methods by which we can know about the company. There are many methods. How can we know about the company? You can search the internet. A lot of material is available on the internet. Almost every company has a website. Suppose it is Infosys. Infosys, you can just type Google that name. You will find the website of the Infosys. Nowadays, finding you don't even have to wait for any ad in the newspaper or in anywhere. Every company will have a section where they invite people who are qualified. You don't have to wait for them to call you for an interview. You can post your resume on their website. For example, wait, I'll just show you as an example, because we are talking of Infosys. Just look at this. This is the web page of Infosys. Infosys.com is their website. If you look at this website page, see, you can see many tabs here. On the top, you can see their careers. There is a section called careers. If you click, you can actually go to their See, you can apply. You can upload your resume, etc. All these things can be done on the website itself. So knowing about the company is very important. Let's come back. So here you can not only get information about the company, you can even apply for a job directly into the company, and they will not directly take us into employment. They will call us for a test paper or interview. A lot of procedure would be there. But if we are really capable, if we are really qualified, uh, there is no barrier in getting into any company if you are really skilled and capable. And nowadays, it's not difficult. Everything is open because of the internet. You can search and find careers for yourself if we have already developed the skills that are required for the industry. Yes. Okay. So now we move on to some more questions. Now we have some responses here. We have to find out the questions. Some answers given during an interview are given below. Can you identify the question side asked? There are three responses which are given. By reading the responses, we have to find out what is the question asked by the interviewer. Exactly. What do you know about this company? What do you know about this organization? What do you know about us? That is exactly the question that they have asked. What do you know about this company is what they have asked. So when you go for this, that's why we had a note earlier. When you go for this answering such a question, if we have not done any research on the company, we are likely to fumble for an answer if we have not done any research. So we have to do some research about the company. I said we can do it easily by logging into the internet or by asking those people who work there. So collecting information about a company can be done in many ways. Most common and easiest method is to search the internet. But if we give such answers like I don't know anything about the company, then we are likely to cut a very sorry figure. So there is one response which is not good here. The other two responses are okay, but one response is not good. Which response is bad? Which of these three responses is not good? Which response is a negative response? Exactly, that's right. It is the first response. If I don't know anything about the company, why do I go there for an interview in the first place? If I don't know anything about the company, why do I go there for an interview? Do we join any course without knowing anything about the course? We don't. So why do I go to an interview in a company if I don't know anything about the company? It shows that we are not bothered about the company. So the first response shows that the candidate has a poor interest in the company and its development, and he is asking the person, what are you producing? Directly in the interview board, he is asking, do you produce plastic boxes? That even that basic thing is not known to the candidate. What is the company producing? So without knowing even that, the candidate has come there for an interview. The first candidate is going to cut a very sorry figure in the interview because of such a response to that question. Okay, now let's look at the next. Okay, the second one, we have 3 responses here. What is the question? Three responses. By reading the responses itself, you can almost guess the kind of question. See, this is so. This is exactly the response. Yes. Is there anything else you would like to ask? Is there anything you would like to know? Do you have any questions? Is something which we discussed in the previous session? The last question that they may ask us. Do you have any doubts? Very good. Yes. So all these kinds of questions, normally we don't give any response because we say that, no, I don't have anything to ask, because we have come there to answer questions and we don't expect to ask any questions to them. But when they ask us, it is always polite to give some response. So this is what we discussed in the previous session also. Even if you don't have any question to ask, it is good to ask some good questions. It shows that if you ask the right kind of questions, it shows that you are really interested in the job. So we can give some good responses. The responses can be about the company, about how you can develop yourself, or something that shows that you want to become a better candidate in the job, etc. So all the 3 responses which are listed here in the text are good responses. You can give any of these 3 responses. So the candidate wants to know about the job profile and the project location, can know about the job typing, timings, transportation facilities, scale of pay, and the job location, etc. And So the third response shows that the candidate wants to learn more. Usually people stop learning when they get a job. But here the candidate shows that uh, he is a continuous learner even while being in a job. So can you suggest some courses that would help me in my job? So all these three responses are equally good. Some such responses should be given when they ask whether we have some questions for them. Do you have any questions, or is there anything else you would like to know, etc.? There should be some response which actually they expect from the candidate. Okay, the last set of responses are this. Yeah. Here also, if you read the responses, you may get an idea of the kind of question, but it is not as easy as the earlier one. Yes, okay, very good. Do you like working more than office hours? Okay, very good. So that's a good response. Yes, how do you like to spend your time outside of work? Very nice, very nice. Yes. So, are you ready to work for more time than the office time? Or will you work just from 10 to 5? Are you willing to work overtime? ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് question. So, you can immediately say a no, or even if you say an yes, it is not enough. Yes, do you mind working outside office hours? Very good. So, all these are the kinds of questions that can be asked, and all the three responses are very good responses. All these three are good responses. So why they have given all these positive responses is that there is no one single good response. Any response is good as long as it shows the quality of the candidate as a good candidate. So there is no single response which is the best. All the responses are equally good if we can project ourselves as a good candidate for the job. So in the first response, the candidate emphasizes that if my work demands working late nights, I'm ready. So that person indicates that he is willing to work into late hours, outside office hours. In the second place also, second candidate also says no problem working late nights and in the weekend. So that person is also willing to work outside office hours. So the third candidate also says, if it comes to commitment, I will not let the company down. Means I will not abandon. Let down someone means, let down means to abandon. So I will not abandon the company. So that person is also promising. So all the three candidates are saying that they are willing to work more than what the company office time demands. That is, we are willing to contribute to the development of the company. So that kind of commitment is what all organizations expect from their employees. They don't want people who will work only for a particular hours, especially in this unfortunate times of the pandemic. You cannot expect people to be working only for a certain time, because people are all working at different times. So we have to be very flexible. So this is a quality which every candidate have to be developing. I have mentioned many qualities before also. Being genuine is a major quality. Humility or modesty is the next quality, and this is the third major quality, that is being flexible or flexibility. I don't know whether I have mentioned it before, but situational sensibility and style flexibility is the quality of a good professional. A situational sensibility and style flexibility. We have to understand every situation. The company demands that my presence should be there. I have to sense the situation need, and I have to be flexible. At that time, I should not go and have a coffee. At that time, I should spend work in the company. But when there is no work, there is no point remaining in the company and rummaging over the files. They're actually causing trouble to the company, wasting the company's electricity, etc. If there is no work left there, just leave the office and go and have your coffee. So this is called situational sensibility and style flexibility. So that kind of quality is expected of candidates. So and that is why they ask all these kinds of questions. These questions are not asked to just to get some answers from the candidates, but to find out the personality of the candidate. So to put in briefly, put in a nutshell, an interview is a kind of measurement of the personality of the candidates. Personality is not something that can be tested using a test paper. So that is why they have a face-to-face interview with the candidate so that they get to understand the quality of the candidate. So let us prepare ourselves by molding our personalities. So it is not just about learning a few questions and trying to find answers to those questions. It is more about molding our personality, and that has to begin from the very first year of our diploma program. That is why this has been included in the first year itself. And I'm sure that every one of you will be capable of developing these qualities in ourselves so that we become better candidates for any situation that we apply for. So that's it about interviews. We'll take up a different topic in the next class. Thank you for joining. Have a very pleasant afternoon. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.